All right, guys, so the thing I want to talk to you about right now is using your voice. And the best way to do that, if you're a personal brand or if you're just a regular brand, a company, is through content marketing, right? Not just social media, but also your website and everywhere else that you put content out platform-wise, even if it's digital or physical, because you can still use your voice on a billboard or a direct mail piece, and you do that through content. So your voice is the most important thing when it comes to actually building your brand, and brand is also known as reputation. So the way to do that is through content. Now, what I mean by voice, be who you are, not who you think your audience wants you to be. Be who you are, because at the end of the day, the people that you're gonna be servicing, the people that you're gonna be providing products to, want you. We're going into this kind of weird stage of like content marketing as a whole, but also with brands, and even more so personal brands. I was having this conversation with a client the other day, and he told me he's been in real estate for about 4 or 5 years, been doing deals, and he told me, he's like, man, it's becoming more noisy than ever before to figure out who you actually want to listen to and who's actually a credible source to listen to. He mentioned a person that he has followed on their YouTube channel for about 2.5 years, and all of a sudden it came out of the woodworks that this guy that he was following was a fraud. Basically, he's been like manipulating things, he's been embezzling, he's been backstabbing people and doing very illegal things when it comes to doing real estate deals, and he's being sued by a lot of people and for a lot of money. And so this guy brought it up, my client, and he said, I thought this guy was great. I trusted him. I learned a lot from him. And I even took some things that he said and implemented them, and they worked. But it's still becoming more noisy than ever. So how do you determine who you should listen to and who you should gravitate to? And that got me thinking. The more that I thought about this, it made me realize that we're in this day and age where anybody can put a video up, anybody can put podcasts out, anybody can put social media content out. And we're going into this era of micro communities where people are going to start realizing that they want to connect not just with people that they learn from and get value from, but people that they actually relate to, personality-wise, their interests. For me, somebody that is an influencer and they're flashing Lamborghinis or flashing gold watches and suits and all that stuff, I don't follow those people because I have no interest in that stuff. But the people that are more down to earth, they're kind, they want to get value, they don't flash all their stuff, those are the people I follow because they're more relevant to me, and they're more relevant to my interests and my personalities. So this is the stage that I predict that we're going into, is a lot of little micro communities, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on podcasts or YouTube channels, and the crowds, the audiences are gonna pick and choose the people that they relate to the most, not necessarily who they get the most value from. Yeah, now keep in mind, there are people that I wouldn't necessarily follow, and I get value from them every once in a while, but at the end of the day, I'm not like following their every move. I'm not consuming the content that they're putting out on a day-to-day basis. I'm consuming the content from the people that I actually relate to and get a lot from. And through their personalities, through the way they carry themselves, the way they talk. And it's just how I relate to them. Not necessarily everybody else, but how I do. And that's the stage we're going into. So it's more important now than ever for you to keep your voice, for you to determine what your voice is. And that could be you being an entrepreneur, it could be you being a father, it could be you being a Christian, it could be you being anything. And forming that into you, and then creating this band of a micro audience that's gonna relate to just you and those things that you talk about and you can relate to with them. That's gonna create a very strong community, a very strong micro community. So take this for what it's worth. Be who you are, not who you think your audience wants you to be, and not what's necessarily trending and what is catching eyes and that kind of thing. Don't worry about all that stuff. Be who you are, because at the end of the day, social media doesn't just change people. It doesn't change people at all. It only amplifies who they actually are. And at some point it shows through. So keep that in mind. Make sure you keep your voice. Let it amplify through content marketing and take advantage of that.